Gameplay loop, containers, grass color mixing, shards, portals, warps, everything. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the ConflictNerd. This is March 15th, 2015. Welcome to Oort Night. Before we begin, a little bit of housekeeping. This episode was due out a few days ago, but due to construction work and a few real-world complications, that wasn't possible. The show will be back on a normal schedule going forward, but it's going to be every Sunday from now on, not every Thursday. That's going to be every Sunday at 4 PM UK time. The first story today relates to gameplay and how you're going to be journeying through the worlds of Oort Online. A question about the gameplay loop was posted on the Steam community, so Ben took to the forums to give everyone a rundown of how it's going to work. This is what Wonderstruck anticipates the core gameplay to be. You start on a new world with no equipment. You survive against the environment and the creatures, gather some basic resources, build tools, and a basic shelter. Search for and gather Oort Shards, unique to the world that you are on. Craft a beacon using Oort Shards. Place your beacon and build a place to call home and store your items. Now we're going to skip ahead a whole bunch of steps and you're going to find yourself opening a portal to a new world and using the Rift Shards. Traveling through the portal with your friends to the new world with new creatures, flora and resources. This new world is further away than the first, it's more exotic and of course, more dangerous. At this point, you're effectively returning to the top of the list and working your way down again, increasing your tier each time. Basically, you're going to travel as deep as you can into the Oort Online universe, discovering new worlds, new creatures, new titans, real players, and you're going to uncover the history of the Oort and find out what happened. Oort Online's progression is absolutely going to be an exciting journey from start to finish. With this plan, every aspect of the game will tie together to let you build your home, upgrade your gear, and continue your adventure. This can only be good. No features are getting neglected, and everyone is getting a little bit of everything. If you want the full details on this or any of the stories covered in this episode, you're going to find plenty of links in that description down below. Have you ever wanted somewhere to store your items but your inventory just isn't enough? Well, you're in luck. We got our first look at containers this week, which are deliberately not called chests because their function isn't set in stone, wood or metal just yet, and they're certainly interesting to look at. First up, we got a glimpse of the container concept art, which was followed up with some 3D animation tests. What you're seeing is the most basic level 1 container that would be in the game. If this is how a basic container is going to look and how it's going to work, well, color me excited for the other containers. Oort Online is a beautiful and colorful game with worlds that have very clear color palettes, themes, and styles. The thing is, have you ever wanted green dirt with white grass? How about yellow dirt with purple grass? Well, this could very well be an option for you. Using a new system, which isn't yet completed, you're going to be able to use colored grass seeds on a dirt block, which will turn it into a grass block. The more seeds, up to 4, the higher the density of the grass, and breaking a grass block on its top surface will cut the grass, giving you the seeds, whilst breaking any other face of this block will give you the dirt. It's said that this system will be able to handle more foliage in the future, such as seaweed, reeds, nettles, and even crops like wheat. So, let me be honest, it's little things like this that get me really excited. I love aesthetics in video games, and I love having as much control over my builds as possible, so being able to go into detail on the dirt color and the grass color has me hoping that we might see similar levels of detail in some other blocks as well. And on to our final story. There's a whole bunch of news about Oort Shards, portals, and warps, but first, some lore. Oort Shards are an ancient technology that you can use to create the most powerful items and contraptions. They're the most common reminder of the Oort's legacy. Strewn across every world in the universe over millions of years, Oort Shards have assimilated with their environment and will only provide power on the world that you find them on. Oort Shards are used in the construction of things like beacons and portals, and in crafting an Oort chest which will hold items across all instances. Portals are a permanent rift between two locations and can only be connected to other portals. You make one and then you make the other, or a friend can do it and then you connect them. You always know where they're going to go, and they're open for a cost of Oort Shards for 60 seconds, and then they close again, but they can be reopened again and again every time for the cost of some Oort Shards. Warps, on the other hand, are a temporary rift, open for 60 seconds only, between where you are and either a completely random world within the same band of worlds, a specified location using a location token, or a specified player using a player token. You can only travel to the maximum world tier that you have unlocked, or the rift is gonna tear you apart because you're not strong enough. Something to keep in mind is that if you're on Isa and you're tracking Oort Shards, you can only open a portal or warp on Isa using Isa Oort Shards. Once again, you'll find more information on all of this by clicking the link to the forum post found in the description. So last week, I asked what kind of player class you would like to see in Oort Online. Well, ladies and gents, as always, the results are in. Laoki said that taking into consideration magic is not referred to as magic in-game, I would like a class that combines arcane Oortian tech with ranged combat, equipped with revolvers or bows/crossbows. It'll be a class focused on movement and the wastage of the enemy. Quick and short sprints to evade, techniques of slowing or weakening the enemy, low damage on magic, low armor but great movement and agility. It would all combine great on that 2-block high race on that showcase from the Oort guys. I actually really like the idea of this. I love the thought that's gone into this. Low damage, low health, but high speed actually makes up one of my favorite kinds of classes in any MMO or any RPG, so I would absolutely love to see this. Predatoxic said, as discussed in the forums, I don't really want pre-made classes. In my opinion, everyone should be able to create his or her own class by getting better at certain things like crafting, magic, or melee combat. Now, this is certainly an interesting idea. I could definitely see this working alongside perhaps 2 or 3 pre-made classes. That way people who aren't as familiar with MMORPG elements aren't going to be confused and maybe put off by having to sort out and work out their stats right at the beginning of the game. And finally, I'm not going to read this one out because it's way too long, but you'll find a link to Ghosted9968's comment in the description. It's a great read with some great ideas. Absolutely well done on this one. And now we move on to the question for this coming week. Since everything we've discussed today has been from the forums, I'm going to refer back to another forum post that I'd had some input in from a few days ago, which was actually discussing music. So let me ask you, what kind of music do you think would work with Oort Online? If you're going to use another game's soundtrack as an example, be sure to name the game. I'll pick out 2 or 3 of the best answers to show off next week on Oort Night. Anyway folks, that's going to be it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. I've been the ConflictNerd. This has been Oort Night. You're looking fabulous, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.